Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's actually been a minute since I've uploaded something, but hope you are all doing fantastic. So, the reason why I'm bringing this to you guys today is because a couple months back, I should say recently isn't really a couple months, but I picked up Destiny 2 Forsaken, and I really got back into it because when the game first came out, I didn't even play Warmind. When they released Osiris, it just pissed me off so bad because I thought they were doing the same thing that they did with D1, is give you a really plain base game, and when you pre-order it for that $100, you get the base game plus the first 2 expansions. They did the same thing for D2, and what really rubbed me wrong was it felt so unfinished and lackluster, like it was just empty, and it felt like the first one offered more than the second one did, and sequels are supposed to expand on what the first ones did good and make it better. So I really felt like I got screwed over, and I know that Forsaken was supposed to be like, say for instance, D1's Taken King, and with that said, I saw it on sale for like $20, and I was like, you know what, my buddies are telling me about this and how much better Forsaken truly is, over the Destiny 2 base game. And Warmind, I played through it after I picked up Forsaken just to get the leveling up stuff out of the way, and it was just it was okay, but Forsaken is really where it's at, and that really pulled me back into Destiny itself, and it kind of got me back up on that hype train, especially the fact that they have broken away from Activision and they're going to be their own developers working on this game by themselves. They can make it whatever they want to make it without having, the big pressures of the big corporate companies coming down on them, telling them this is what you need to make this. They have full creative control. With that, I'm really excited to see, and the things I've been hearing about Shadowkeep that's coming out, sounds like there's going to be so much more customization options and a lot more RPG elements that are going to be included into this, where you're actually going to feel like you're going to be getting more value out of it, and that is what I'm really excited for. But what I want to talk to you guys is what brought me back into Destiny. So it started with my buddy talking about it and like showing me the things with like the annual pass and everything. Oh yeah, by the way, I would not pre-order Shadowkeep because with the annual pass it's like $60, and when I picked up Forsaken, I got the annual pass for like $15. So overall I spent like $35 on a ton of content that I got, and for how much I got, I think it's really worth it because I play it every single day, almost every single day, and every single time it's at least for an hour to an hour and a half or so, sometimes more. But what's great about it is for how much content that you get for the price I got it for, it was so worth it. And what I hope they do is I hope they do the same thing with Shadowkeep. I think if you're going to pay $60 for something, you should get a $60 return on value for it, whether you value that in fun, grinding, or however you want to measure this game in. But I have high hopes for it. And what really got me back into Forsaken was all of the new activities that you can do and how they kind of switched up like the armor system, because when I first played it, it was way different. So, but it's still more expanded on in D1. But anyways, what I really love about it is just kind of getting back into almost like the grind of it and enjoying, going after like these quests in the game or something like that. I don't know. I think I'm just like a goal-oriented person where I see something that I want to do and I like to keep my mind busy and I like to go for it. So, for instance, there's this one quest in this. It's for this gun called The Last Word. It was a pain in the fucking dick to get because it just took forever and you had to do a ton of PvP. But when I finally got that, I got that satisfaction, like, holy shit, this took me a really long time, and I had kind of fun while I did it, and now I got this badass exotic that not a whole lot of people have, and just kind of getting back into that of just getting like the best things and hopping back on with my friends, and now that I actually have people to play with, it's so much more fun. When I was playing solo all the time, it just got so dry and so boring, same events, and you have to find a bunch of random people on like PlayStation community and stuff like that to see if they'll link up with you in like an online game or something. But you know, especially with Gambit was a big thing that brought me back in, because I like PvP, but to a certain point where it's just like, if you're just getting headshotted by snipers, you know, all day playing, it's not fun. But when you go into Gambit, it's this really fun game mode. I'm just going to explain it for, you know, probably you guys who haven't played Destiny as well, probably while you're watching this video. But anyways, so there's teams on two sides. They're not on the same map. You're both on your own map, and you have to kill enemies and not, you know, PvP enemies. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So it's PvE, so when you shoot an enemy and they die, they drop a mote. You deposit this mote into a bank, and the more you deposit, it builds up a giant boss, and then you kill that final boss and you win. And if you do it first, you win, you know, the 1 round out of 3. You gotta win 2 out of 3 to win. But what makes this interesting is there's this portal that opens up, and you can invade the other team for 30 seconds at a time. And that really ups the factor, because when you kill one of the opposite team members, that raises their boss's health back up. Not all the way, but you know, if you can get the entire team member in one run in that 30 seconds, which is possible, and it's a ton of fun when you do it, because it's really intense, and the entire match keeps you on the edge of your seat, you know, like kind of like, okay, we got to keep on doing this, and you got to strategize. What usually end up happening to me is I'd hop on with one of my friends, we'd be carrying the entire team, while the 2 other people were just random onliners that they had no idea what they were doing. But anyways, stuff like that, you know, that one PvP mode was just a ton of fun. Gambit that they brought in, and having all the newer strikes in the quest, especially with Cade, because Cade was such a cool character. He's my favorite, and the fact that they kill him off in this, you have to go through that story of, you know, basically Cade's goodbyes and everything else, and then you get his gun and whatnot. But it was really cool, and not playing it for such a long time, I had a ton of content that I got to go through. I wasn't waiting for months and weeks on end, like, okay, we gotta wait for the weekly update before I can actually do anything today. And I think that's really the best way to play Destiny, is to wait until the good stuff comes out and then play it. Not, you know, pre-order, you know, waste, like, I mean, it's kind of hard to call it a waste, but I mean, I think it's a waste of myself to pre-order that game, because I talked to my friends about this, and they have spent hundreds of dollars on things that you can just wait a couple months for and scoop up for $20. I mean, and that's just play it on time, but this will keep you so busy for months and just hours on end. It's really worth it if you're looking for a lot of content to go through. But